I screamed the curses at you. I held the whip, I slapped you. I drove the nails through your wrists. With the pain of all the generations, you looked at me with all forgiveness, knowing that I'd fail you again. You told me it would be okay when your life was in jeopardy. I killed you, how could you still love me? When finally I looked away, the breath you lost gave life to me. Your blood was surely flowing through my veins. It didn't matter what it cost. You stormed the grave, you broke the cross, you tore the veil and healed my heart. I called your name in my misery. I hoped for nothing but to see the love you showed when I was in the dark. And I prayed that you would hear my cries. Humble me, God. And I tried, but nothing seems to work but you. And I believe you now. I see the hope of all my misery. Jesus, I believe in you. Every breath he gave you purpose. So your life, it's always worth it. Don't be afraid to slow it down. Ask him how. This life is a beautiful gift. He gave it to us, but not to sit around and hide our lights, to let our flame burn out inside our homes. The hope we have, it shines. Jesus never acted like he hated life. And even when he knew his own death, every step he took to bless the people who were hopeless, the poor, the lonely, the homeless, the poor in spirit, the rich in wealth. He dealt them equal and loved them well. He healed the sick, departed, and he loved the brokenhearted, the little ones cast away. He took and guarded. He's been here since we were in the garden. He's been here. Then his purpose was to be fulfilled. God and man was to be killed, to bear the shame of sin for all the earth. He took the weight and bore the curse. They beat him with a Roman tool, 234 stripes, and it was cruel, but his stripes you and I are healed by. The agreement soon was to be sealed by. They nailed his hands with giant stakes. Still for our sin his heart breaks. He said, they know not what they do. Lord, forgive them. Nail and foot, pushing for one last breath. God and man faced his death because he saw everything you do. In the sin you've committed, he knew. But 3 days passed and he's not found. His body no longer, it's in the ground. The grave was swallowed up in victory to save us from our misery. For Jesus is alive right now. The witnesses, they wrote it down. In history, it proves that he's alive. When death, no one else has survived. Let me ask you one more question. Will you deny this confession? A God who loved you strong enough to die. A God of whom no man can bribe. Your purpose isn't in yourself. It ain't happiness, health, or wealth. It's seeing that you were deep in sin, and there ain't no work to help you therein. And when righteously you'd be sent to hell, forever a place for you to dwell. A just spot for all humankind, but that's where Christ brightly shined. God came down once and for all. He took our evil, it's nothing small. And he paid the debt that you and I had owed. It's forgiven, it wasn't just loaned. God's wrath poured out upon his son. Then victory, it had begun. For Jesus set mankind free from our sin. The door's open. Will you let him in?